Welcome to our pre-calculus open house video. I am Elizabeth Anderson. If your student has had me before, and many of them have, they might have had me as Miss Tilly. I did get married this past summer, which we'll talk about in the next slide. So today in this 5-minute video, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and then a lot about the course background and different policies to expect this semester and this year in the class. So as a quick get to know me, I have been teaching at Glenbard South since 2017, and many of your students have actually had me before in some capacity, in whether in my student teaching placement back in 2017 or in classes like Geometry Honors or Algebra 2 Trig. A couple things to point out about myself. I grew up in North Carolina, and then I came here for college, and I graduated from Wheaton College with a BA in mathematics, and I have my master's from Wheaton as well in secondary education. I did get married this past summer in North Carolina where I grew up. It was a small COVID wedding, but it was a beautiful day, and we are happy to be back in Illinois and starting our lives together. So next, for the rest of this, I will walk through the pre-calculus course with a brief overview and then some of my specific course policies. So first, pre-calculus is a preparatory course for calculus. And the goal of this year is to strengthen our background in all sorts of functions and all sorts of function relations in trigonometry and in other topics that will set your student up for success in calculus next year. Personally, pre-calculus is one of my favorite courses because I love the way it brings everything together from what they've done in math. We see a lot of cool topics. We go really deep into things, so I love the class. This course sequence starts with a review of functions, so it should be somewhat familiar to things they've seen before, and then we will build on it as we go. Another thing to point out, a graphing calculator is crucial and is required for this course. If your student has yet to purchase one in their math career at Glenbard South, please encourage them to get one this year. Some of my other policies as we look through this is first, for my homework policy, what you can expect as you are watching your students work is homework will be assigned every section. Depending on different sections and when we cover them, that could change the sequence in which we cover them. Their homework is graded for completion and for effort. So I recognize that homework is something that is done right after we have learned it. So there might be questions. We're still in the process of learning. So the goal is that they made a try at it, they showed their work, and then also if they couldn't complete it, they are coming in to ask questions and for extra help. It's 2 points if it's on time. I do accept late homework for half credit, 1 point, up until the test day of that particular unit. And then after the unit finishes, no more homework from that unit can be turned in. And if your student is struggling when they do their work on their own, it's very important that they come in and they ask for extra help. Quizzes. I do a quick quiz every 1 to 2 sections where I allow students to work in groups, but they submit their own form. So this gives them a chance for me to see specifically what they can do and show their work, but also it allows them to learn from each other. And I've loved watching throughout the years how learning happens when they're working through these quizzes together. They have the choice to choose if the quiz counts based on their score. So if it helps their grade and if they scored well enough that it would improve their grade, it will count. If it doesn't, it is a formative check where they get the feedback, but it doesn't hurt their grade. And this is how I help them learn throughout the units. For my test retake policy, we will have a test at the end of each unit. Students may retake one test of their choice per semester. They get to choose the time to retake this test up until the Friday before final exam. So I recognize for students that we have all sorts of different situations going on in our personal lives, and sometimes a specific test day might not be a student's best day. I try to understand this with this retake policy to give them an opportunity to make up a test that didn't go the way they wanted, but also encourage them for the rest of their tests to build their study skills, to come in for extra help, and to put in the work needed to make the next test more successful than the one that they are seeking to retake. For this, test corrections also must be completed. Lastly, extra help is so important, especially for a course like pre-calculus. I would say this is one of our hardest courses at Glenbard South because it is asking these students to probably reach some of their rigorous level of math to this point, but it is also a regular level mathematics class. So students who maybe have had some trouble with math in the past, and we're pushing them further, and I believe all of your students can do it. But if they are struggling, please ask them to come seek help with me. My open office hours are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from the time shown here. I also have 6th and 7th period open, and it's many of your students' lunch periods. I'd encourage them to schedule a time with me to come and work. I have many other times by appointment as well. So real quick, just to point out here, a couple things you might see if you were to log in your student's Schoology course where you're accessing this video right now. This is an example of it's my geometry course, but what many of them look like. You'll see the Zoom link, office hours link, and a weekly outline that covers what we are doing this week. And then you will see for our unit, the notes, the practice sets or homeworks, and as well as answers to help the students check their work and to see what they might have missed. We also have the syllabus and some online resources that your students have accessed. So lastly, as we wrap up here, I truly believe that teachers and parents are the best student support team that we have. Together, if we work to support your student, I believe they can be extremely successful in all classes at Glenbard South, but specifically my class in Pre-Calc Honors. So please in Pre-Calc Regular. So please contact me by email or Remind if you have any questions or if you'd like to talk further about your student or this class. I would love to have those conversations with you. We can schedule a phone call through Remind if that would be helpful. Besides yourself, I truly strive to be one of your students' greatest advocates to help them thrive this year, especially in the situation we are with remote learning. It takes a lot of extra support and it takes a lot of extra effort, and I hope that you know that I am here for your student to support them along the way. My email is listed here, elizabeth_tilly@glenbard.org, so please email me with questions. And with Remind, let me know if you are not registered for the pre-calculus class and would like to be added to the list. It pre-populates before the semester, but I can add parents in as we go. Please look through the Schoology and check out the resources that are posted there, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.